And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, a real estate and finance expert, and goes to bat for you every day as your consumer advocate. Your host, Brandon Rhymes.
Yes, here we are again, another day committed to picking a fight with the mainstream media and providing you the timely truth centered around real estate, credit, finance, estate planning, tax planning, and so much more. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show, where our number one goals are to educate, entertain, and enlighten, but most importantly, we want to engage you in an effort to help you win in any marketplace.
The only thing I'm addicted to right now is winning.
How do you engage? You call us on our cell phone. It's 813-917-1894.
You used to call me on my cell phone.
813-917-1894.
Baby, don't forget my number.
We want you to bookmark our website, consumerqb.com. That's our website, blog site, a plethora of information available for you at consumerqb.com. You can watch our TV show version as well, the live stream version provided by WeBeam TV and Tampa Bay Multimedia. You can also check out all of our expert contributors, over 80 show partners now with the Consumer Quarterback Show. And we want to be that turnkey solution to help you win, help you avoid a lot of the nonsense out there in the mainstream media and a lot of that commission-based advice. And we don't care if you're climbing a corporate ladder, if you throw a ladder in your truck on the way to work. This show's for you. We want to help you win. And this segment is brought to you by our new hotel partner, Kipton's, the Hotel Zamora in St. Pete Beach. It's the first new boutique-style hotel built in decades on the beach. Spanish ancestry meets cool Mediterranean attitude. Whitewashed Mediterranean palace. Expansive luxury suites with balconies overlooking the intercoastal waterway. Rooftop yoga on the weekends. Awesome restaurant in-house there. The Castile restaurant is awesome. Beautiful pool and spa area, and it's a boater's paradise as well. You pull the boat up on the weekends. I'm a member of Freedom Boat Club. Out there on the weekends, a lot of times enjoying our beautiful waterways. And the official partner, the Kipton's, the Hotel Zamora in St. Pete Beach. Beautiful place to enjoy your staycations here in beautiful Tampa Bay.
Sun is shining, the weather is sweet.
All right, let's go around the horn now and make our introductions. Back in studio, attorney Marshall Berner with Four Rivers Law Firm. He's an intellectual property expert. Welcome in, sir.
Thanks for having me again, Brandon. It's been a while. Always love coming here and getting on your show. Today, we'll just discuss the usual intellectual property, what that consists of. I'm going to get into trademarks. I want to discuss the importance of one of the first steps a new business should take is obtaining federal registration for their trademarks, for their names, their logos.
That's right.
Any ideas they may have, we could address those situations as well. But it's all about protecting their reputation,
That's right.
their property, those intangible assets, and increasing the value of their company.
That's right. Yeah, and we'll talk about maybe some national stories, some interesting stories. We'll break down the difference between patent, trademark, all the different confusion in the marketplace, right?
Well, you see, I guess the new trademark now or design is for the the football team that just went to Los Angeles
That's right.
today,
The Chargers.
They just posted their new logo.
Yeah.
I'm sure they got the registration months ago, in advance, but it's totally different from the other logo, and so.
It's interesting stuff. You look at it as real application stuff, and it adds to the value of your business. So very important to, as a business owner, entrepreneur out there, to take a look at what you're doing online and make sure you're registered, make sure you're obtaining these federal registrations. So more from Marshall Berner. And also in studio, Amanuel, NetWorth Realty. Welcome back in, sir.
Hey, glad to be here, Brandon. How are you doing?
Hey, my pleasure, man. Had a good party last week over here, too. Had a nice turnout, and it's always great to catch up with you guys. And NetWorth Realty, man, you guys are really rocking right now, providing these investors these opportunities for folks to buy off-market real estate properties, non-MLS properties.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's what we'll be talking about today is what we offer at NetWorth Realty. We are a full-service wholesale brokerage that specializes in investment real estate. So today we'll be going over the four cornerstones of NetWorth Realty and the services that we provide to investors to, help them be successful in investing in single-family residential real estate.
That's right. Yeah. Start off with, you got the 4 F's here. It says find, fund, fix in the future. And, the hardest one is to find these. So we'll give some tips there to our listeners and how they can reach out to you. It's very important, if you buy properties at the right price point. Everybody knows in real estate, you make your money on the buy, right?
Absolutely. There's you hit it right on the spot. There's no such thing as just buying a piece of real estate, putting 20-30 grand into it and making 20-30 grand. It just doesn't work like that. It's all about finding the right property at the right price. You do make money at the buy, and that's what we help investors do at our brokerage.
Yeah, I did a gentleman for a property for a gentleman a while back, and he ended up putting too much money into it. He had bad advice on the front end, lost some money, and it can happen. It's there's bad advice out there, and then unfortunately there's so many new real estate agents getting back into the market, new mortgage brokers, people that were potentially doing other professions jumping back into real estate because real estate's hot again. The appreciation factor's there, but there's no better play in my book than to buy off-market real estate properties, invest them, and especially when we have an all-star cast like we do here with the Quarterback Show. We've got Scott Maurer with Advanta IRA. So you buy an asset off-market, you put it in your IRA, and Marshall, your background is in real estate as well, and so so you buy off-market real estate properties, you buy it through your IRA, and you're you're controlling the asset, you're able to improve the asset. It's an insurable asset class, and then you take advantage of the long-term growth without any tax on the assets as well. So,
yep.
It's interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess one thing I want to touch on is what you said about the person that ended up overspending on the property, and that's what we help our investors with is, we're a firm believer that you rehab these properties to the comps. So
right.
We look at the neighborhood and see what other comps have done as far as renovations, and we make improvements to that, and we don't over improve or anything like that, but that's really key, and that's where I do see a lot of investors not having success is over improving and trying to make the difference on listing a property higher than what the market calls for. So
yeah, and when they do that, the property's going to sit on the market. They're going to accumulate those days on the market, and it's going to end up, costing them more in the long run due to, buyers not wanting to make offers. So, it's an interesting space, especially with Tampa, St. Pete, Clearwater. So much positivity in the Tampa Bay market. We just had the national championship game here in Tampa a week ago, and so all of the people that came to town. I did a story on yesterday's show. The number of people that came into Tampa International Airport. Here's an interesting statistic. Sometimes it's tough, especially going forward. So what it's saying is 18,938,100 visitors flew in through Tampa International Airport in 2016. So that's just in one year. It was an 18% increase over the previous year. But, it's an impressive figure, and there's so many people that want to come and enjoy what all Tampa Bay has to offer. So you've got the beautiful beaches, the sports teams, a lot of good things here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
All right, good stuff. So let's. We're also going to talk about an interesting story as well. There's a Tampa Bay postal worker guilty of stealing $2 million in Social Security checks, and interesting content here on the Quarterback Show. So we want to help you win in any marketplace. That's the goal of our show. What we do is we give you that helicopter view of the marketplace in Tampa Bay, current events, things happening, our nuggets of advice, things to do, things to avoid, and we're that consumer advocate. We're the number one consumer advocate in all of Tampa Bay and the Gulf Coast region of Florida. And our show airs Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. right here on 1250 Winds. We're syndicated on 102.5 The Bone as well on the FM dial, and our TV show is on WeBeam TV. So a lot of cool things happening. I will let you know about an event here. Real excited to announce the launching of Rhymes Media Group, another opportunity to engage us as well. If you're a business owner out there, entrepreneur, we've got a Lunch and Learn digital marketing seminar Friday, January 27th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. right here at iHeartRadio in South Tampa. So we're going to teach you website optimization, online advertising, search engine optimization, how to leverage your social media, and to really, how to be informed when it comes to your digital marketing space. So it's a new venture that we have. First 5 listeners, we're going to give you a free ticket for that Lunch and Learn event. And it's 813-917-1894. That's our hotline. Just give us a call at 813-917-1894.
Welcome to my house.
All right, so we have a lot of fun here in studio. We're going to jump into this content when we come back, and more from our expert contributors. We got attorney Marshall Berner, 4 Rivers Law Firm, in studio. We're going to talk about intellectual property, how to protect your intangible assets, and also more from Amanuel with NetWorth Realty. Talk about the 4 cornerstones of NetWorth Realty: find, fund, fix, and the future, and how to get off-market real estate properties. This segment is also sponsored by the Maids Cleaning Service. They do a great job cleaning our real estate properties. Big shout out to the Maids Cleaning Service. They are referred for a reason. 24-hour, 100% satisfaction guaranteed by the maids. They do a great job cleaning our real estate properties, and a longtime friend of the program now. With the maids, they come in. 4 fine folks are in and out of your property within an hour and a half, 2 hours, it feels like. So if you're working from home, they're in and out. So stay with us. Don't touch that dial. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Enjoy tranquil seclusion in an eco-lover's paradise. Paddling through the mangroves where the only sounds you'll hear are the sounds of nature. Because you deserve to relax on vacation. Visit Pasco County, Florida.
If you were injured in a car crash, what would you do first? Who would you call?
You claimed to be injured, yet you spoke to and saw an attorney before you saw a doctor. Is that true?
Yes.
Lawyers on TV tell you to call them first. You can, but should you? The law has changed, and you may find yourself paying your own medical bills if you don't see a doctor in the first 14 days. If you've been in a car crash, you need MyCrashMD, the interactive doctor visit, where you can consult virtually with a physician after you've been hurt in a car accident.
We can see you today. We'll take great care of you, regardless if you are at fault or not.
MyCrashMD is an actual medical visit with a doctor. No waiting in an ER, no wasting time driving around town. Download MyCrashMD free from anywhere and then see a doctor on any mobile device. Times are changing. If you don't get medical attention within the first 14 days after your crash, you could lose your insurance benefits. So if you've been in a car crash, help yourself and your accident case with MyCrashMD.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, owner of Platinum MVP Realty, and a top listing agent in Tampa Bay. Featured in Florida Realtor Magazine multiple times, Top Agent Magazine, the Tampa Bay Business Journal, the Tribune, and others recognized for innovation with marketing, helping our sellers profit more on the sale of their real estate properties. We're going to get you maximum exposure, help you sell your property for more money. The old joke in the industry about real estate agents and, is that the 3 Ps. You ever heard this one? Most realtors utilize this innovative process called the 3 Ps. They're going to put it on MLS, they're going to put their feet up on their desk, and they're going to pray it sells. That's the joke in the industry. But, it really is true a lot of times. People aren't doing a lot extra when it comes to marketing your property. So we want to help you with that. Also, check out our book on Amazon, Become the MVP in Your Industry by Surfing the Radio Waves. Connor, Anthony, and I co-wrote this book, and it helps you start your own show, or maybe if you're not into broadcast, you start your own podcast. Podcasts are real easy, and it's a growing demographic that is really helping people. I went to the Florida Podcasters Association meeting this past week, and there's a lot of growth in that space. Podcasting is the wave of the future. So this segment is brought to you by Hula Bay. Hula Bay is the official restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Awesome waterfront ambiance down in South Tampa, right off of Tyson Avenue. Waterfront ambiance, excellent food. You've got a wide variety on the menu. You've got awesome sushi, and you've got the tuna that's shipped from Hawaii every 2 days, fresh tuna directly from Hawaii, and also excellent and courteous staff. So big shout out to Hula Bay, the official restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. We have a great time out on there. Sometimes on the weekends, go down to the Duke Surfer Bar. You guys ever been down there to the Duke Surfer Bar?
No, where's that at?
It's right below Hula Bay. It's an awesome spot, man.
Never been there.
Yeah, it's good.
Freedom
Boat Club.
Really nice.
We've had some parties down there before, and it's a great time, man. Right down in South Tampa. If you haven't been there, you got to check it out. Hula Bay. Let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you for a free water with lemon. And so we got a couple of hot listings I want to let you know about. 2106 Stoneview Road in Odessa. It's Ashley Lakes. It's 6-bedroom, 4-bath property, and it is a $330,000 property here, 3,500 square feet, just listed, and there is a gorgeous lake right behind it. So you've got that lake view, relaxing sunsets at 2106 Stoneview Road in Odessa, almost 3,500 square feet. Also got a beachfront, waterfront condo here right on the beach, Clearwater Beach. It's just over $500,000, 1290 Gulf Boulevard, number 1103 in Clearwater. It's 2-bedroom, 2-bath property, community pool, condominium, Lighthouse Towers condo on Sand Key, desirable Sand Key area of Clearwater Beach, a gorgeous spot.
Somewhere sunny and 75.
All right. So let's talk a little legal talk. Let's talk with Attorney Marshall Berner here, Four Rivers Law Firm. Intellectual property. It's such a interesting space, and sometimes people they don't understand what they need to do.
Yeah, sure. To start off, intellectual property. We've discussed this before. The main three, or the top three areas of law under the intellectual property umbrella: your trademarks, your patents, your copyrights. My firm can handle all three of those. My specialty is with the trademarks, and my partner, Mr. Joe Southron, he's a master at patents and copyright. And I want to discuss a little bit here today just the importance of obtaining a trademark. If you're a small business owner or you're thinking about opening a business, one of the initial steps, you think about, you put your plan together, you have your business plan, and each step you take along that plan is just for growth, right, for your company, for longevity. And one of those steps that you should first take when you name your company or you have a logo is to obtain your trademark, your federal registration, and you would bar everyone else across the nation from using that same or similar mark for identifying similar goods or services all across the nation. And part of the reason of doing that to begin with when you start the company is, part of the process is to do a trademark search. We conduct this search. It's almost like an insurance policy. You go do the search. Let me look to see if I can identify another name or logo that's already being used out there for the products and services that I want to offer to the marketplace. And if there is, then you step back and you say, all right, well, now my risk is high for I would be to where I would be infringing on someone else's rights.
Right.
Because if you actually didn't do the search and you just filed the application, more than likely, if the other registrant is policing their mark, you're going to get a cease and desist letter.
Yeah.
And imagine if you did that 2 years down the road. you want to obtain your federal registration. Now in the back of your mind, you're like, well, there's someone else already with that mark.
Right.
Now what do I do? I've created this reputation, this goodwill. Everybody in my marketplace knows who I am.
Yep.
Based on my identity through that mark or phrase or logo, whatever you've created. So you want to get the search done. Search is the very first important step to take. And when you move on, you follow the application. If the risk is low, in the application process, it could take up to a year just to obtain the certificate for the registration.
Wow.
But along that process, you're working closely with the USPTO examining attorneys, and they'll correspond with you if there's any minor errors in the application or anything like that. But a lot of times, too, you'll receive what's called an office action. And an office action is basically a legal memorandum of law that denies your application based on some legal standard. For instance, one of the big legal standards against allowing the registration would be a mark being confusingly similar in the marketplace.
Right.
So if you have a consumer with two products or services being offered in the marketplace, and that consumer sees those two different marks, but they're very similar, and one person had the registration before the other, you could get that confusingly similar standard issued to you, and you're going to have to sit down and try to make a legal argument against it in allowing your application to go through.
Right.
So, and that's where our services really come into play, because then we'll respond to the USPTO examining attorneys with a legal argument stating why our clients' rights into their trademark should be granted.
Yeah, it's crazy because nowadays it's like your online avatar. If you've got the Google, you got the Facebook, you got all these different places where people know you or your brand, and you have this online avatar, and then you have the confusion come in, and then you also have the issue of interstate commerce.
Well, yeah, you're going across state lines, and that's why you get these rights across the nation. Yeah, and just the online marketplace can create major confusion for consumers.
Right.
If you have MVP Realty,
yep,
someone might have like MVP brokerage, and then they're going to say, all right, well, are the quality services that I'm getting from this one over here the same as the other one? Are they the same entity? I don't know. Then you could get into where you would get negative reviews because the other entity that's not you is offering poor service.
Right.
And that's where the damage of your reputation comes in, and that's why you should police your mark.
It gets tricky.
And you should go after your own infringement lawsuits if you get the trademark status.
Right.
And there's a legal presumption that if you do get the certificate, that is your mark. And there's no statute of limitations. It's just the world is on notice that that's your mark. And if someone infringes on your rights, then you could take immediate action against them to protect your mark, to collect damages for any reputation or lost profits. It could be a big one. Someone, a consumer might think that they're going to your company, but they're going to someone else, and that could have been your client. That could have been money into your pocket.
Right.
See what I'm saying? It's very important. And I like using examples like you. I come in here today and you have a new entity.
Yeah.
What is this?
Rhymes Media.
Rhymes
Group.
Media. Look at that logo. Look at that.
Yeah.
Media is not going to be protected.
Right.
You would disclaim that in your trademark application.
Right.
Most people, they don't know that they have to do that. So they're automatically going to get an office action from an examining attorney. And those types of mistakes, those are just minor mistakes. You would just amend the application.
Let me ask you this, Marshall. If you just joined us, we're talking with attorney Marshall Berner, Four Rivers Law Firm, intellectual property attorney here in Tampa Bay. When it comes to patent pending, you watch Shark Tank and you see, oh, well, yeah, it's patent pending. They'll ask the question. So pending is just when you first start and it's in process. Is that right?
Yeah, but you could also get the protection that you would as having that, I guess, the right to the exclusive use of your idea or your invention, whatever you invented. Once you get that patent pending status, and you're protected. And in that case, you would have your non-disclosure agreements, mutual non-disclosures, confidentiality, and then you would present. You'd go to the marketplace and present to potential investors for your product, and you would be protected that way.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, there's so many things to talk about here. When we come back, we're going to talk more with attorney Marshall Berner, Four Rivers Law Firm. We're also going to bring Amanuel into the conversation here as well with NetWorth Realty, talk about the four cornerstones of real estate, how to find these off-market real estate properties, and how you can convert that. You know, a lot of people don't realize with their IRA, they have control. It's a self-directed IRA. You have control of the assets. You're not relegated to just the stock market or bonds or, you know, these mutual funds, ETFs, you know, all these different types of opportunities that are out there. Tony Robbins wrote a great book called Money Master the Game. Pull it up on Audible and check it out. But he'll really school you in on, you know, how the financial industry has really tried to just basically pull it over on the general population. And I'm your consumer advocate, and that's what we're here for. We're fighting for the consumer every day here on the radio. So stay with us. Don't touch that dial. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
Enjoy tranquil seclusion in an eco-lover's paradise. Paddling through the mangroves where the only sounds you'll hear are the sounds of nature. Because you deserve to relax on vacation, visit Pasco County, Florida.
If you were injured in a car crash, what would you do first? Who would you call?
You claim to be injured, yet you spoke to and saw an attorney before you saw a doctor. Is that true?
Yes.
Lawyers on TV tell you to call them first. You can, but should you? The law has changed, and you may find yourself paying your own medical bills if you don't see a doctor in the first 14 days. If you've been in a car crash, you need MyCrashMD, the interactive doctor visit, where you can consult virtually with a physician after you've been hurt in a car accident.
We can see you today. We'll take great care of you, regardless if you are at fault or not.
MyCrashMD is an actual medical visit with a doctor. No waiting in an ER, no wasting time driving around town. Download MyCrashMD free from anywhere and then see a doctor on any mobile device. Times are changing. If you don't get medical attention within the first 14 days after your crash, you could lose your insurance benefits. So if you've been in a car crash, help yourself and your accident case with MyCrashMD.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes here, owner of Platinum MVP Realty, a top listing agent, a published author, and a professional speaker. Also a former USF football player, played on the inaugural football team at the University of South Florida Bulls. Having a great season, had a great season. That is 11-2 record, bowl berth, and a bowl win. And we got a new coach coming in town, Charlie Strong, coming in town. So we're excited about a lot of the things happening here in Tampa Bay. And so we're back here in studio, live from iHeartRadio. This segment is brought to you by Back End Health Massage. Big shout out to my massage therapist, Michael Vogt, with Back End Health Massage. Great location right there on Del Mabry and Gun Highway. And Back End Health Massage voted top 10 massage services by the readers of the Tampa Bay Business Journal's Best in the Biz Awards. He does a great job. Back End Health Massage, Michael Vogt. And so we're back here in studio, live from iHeartRadio. I want to let you know about a hot new listing we just got listed here. It's 15807 Bridgewater Lane in Tampa in the Country Place subdivision. 3-bedroom, 2-bath property, almost 1,700 square feet. We just reduced this one as well. It's another waterfront property that we have here at $279,000 at 15807 Bridgewater Lane in Tampa. Also, 15102 Lake Magdalene Boulevard in Tampa. It's a beautiful Carrollwood property here in the Griffin subdivision. 5 bedrooms, 3-bath, almost just over 3,400 square feet here with a pool and a spa. You've got a ski lake right there. You've got a boat lift right on the boathouse, right on the ski lake, master suite downstairs. Beautiful property, Lake Magdalene Boulevard in Tampa. Reach out and check out our website, consumerqb.com. 813-917-1894, consumerqb.com. You can see all of our listings there as well. Beautiful Tampa Bay property.
No shoes, no shirt, and no problem.
All right, so let's go back to Attorney Marshall Berner here. We're going to bring Marshall into the conversation. Emmanuel into the conversation as well. So Marshall Berner, Four Rivers Law Firm. Let's kind of finish up where we were talking there.
Let's just pick back up. Just a moment ago, you asked me about patent pending status, and just so the listeners know, the patent process is very similar to the trademark process. They're both governed by the USPTO's office, and this process is similar. You would start with a search, like you do a trademark search. Mm-hmm. You're going to do a patent search, and that's just going to give you the insight onto what's out there. Then you evaluate your risk. Should I move forward with this or should I not? And what are we
trademarking and what are we patenting?
So trademarks are words, your slogans, your designs. Okay. Patents are, they say, your inventions, but it's your ideas. What kind of mechanical idea do you have? Can you, make a tangible, something that operates? Can you make something, I guess, more functionable or more convenient use for a consumer? For instance, right? I had one years ago that I went through for myself, and it's a garbage can. A lot of times I'll go to the garbage can. If I take the garbage bag out, take it outside, throw it in the can, I'll just forget to put the new bag in. Mm. And then I'll be drinking a beer, get off the couch, and I'll just go hit that little button to pop up the top, and then without even knowing, I just throw the garbage in there, and I'm like, oh man, I forgot to put the bag in. I was like, why can't there just be some kind of system underneath where I would just take my garbage bags and stick them in the bottom of the garbage can? Right. That way, when I pull the one bag up, the other one would follow, and it'd be like, bam. I went through the process, did a patent search. The idea has been patented since like the 60s. It's just not out there.
Nobody's made it.
And it's just about making something more convenient.
That's right. If you can serve a cause, right?
It doesn't have to be like a whole new idea. You're just adding a convenient factor to an idea.
So that's a patent.
Like that. And you would claim that design. You would design it. I guess the way it functions, that would be your patent. And that part of drafting your claims for your patent application. That's a lengthy process. But two things for those inventors out there, those want-to-be inventors, and if you're interested in going through the patent process, first step is to make sure you know how you're going to fund it. Mm-hmm. You have the funds to go through this process, and also have a plan for what you're going to do with your product. How are you going to get it to the marketplace? Because you could go through the patent process, then what are you going to do?
It's a great
You're
point.
Just going to have it.
The 4-Hour Work Week, Tim Ferriss, he has a chapter in that book where he talks about so many people, they start with the idea and they fall in love with the idea and just think that everybody's going to be enamored when they announce this idea. But what you really should do is you should work it the other way around. You got to find out if the demand's there first. And he goes through an interesting story. Remember that workout stuff, No Explode or whatever, like it helps you put on muscle mass and stuff. He went through the story about that product, and it was so what he did is he went into publish the magazines. So he went into magazines specific to industry and health, right? So he took out a little quarter-page ad, something like that. This is not Tim Ferriss, but the gentleman that developed this product. And he said, okay, so he said, without me spending all this money to see how much it would cost to spend it, to sell it, to trademark it, or to patent it. So what he did is he put in this quarter-page ad, and it was something about what the effect would be. So somehow he tailored that message to get people to call in for a free book. So now when people emailed in or wrote in for the free book, probably back then, so then he said, okay, now I got demand. He was getting so many people wanting to know more about how he can do, insert the benefit here. And so then he figured out the demand. And then what was interesting also is that now that he knows the demand's there, is he went in and he brought it in the marketplace at like $75 or $85. I mean, it was real expensive. So he goes in there as a Rolex product, not the Timex product, right? And then he also said it's important to pick one distributor. So he went with GNC, I think it was, instead of having multiple distributors, retailers rather, selling the product, because then what happens is, now this one's selling it and they're going to drop the price $2 to compete with this one over here, and he's going to drop it now $8, and then your reorders run out. So it's an interesting process.
Yeah, yes. That's like your product almost competes with itself throughout the marketplace. Because,
exactly.
Yeah, that's not a good thing. But so and even getting the patent pending status, you don't have to go through you don't have to go through a formal patent. Like utility or design application, you can get the file, what they call a provisional patent.
Yep.
It just buys you time to go out and say, all right, is this going to be doable? Is there going to be a demand? Let me get my non-disclosure forms ready and go present this idea. And if it's not there, then you can just walk away from it without spending all the money to go through the actual patent application process. But it's very similar to the trademark process, and another thing, just to emphasize the importance of establishing your trademarks on your logos, your phrases, any words or anything. You can only trademark something that identifies your service or your good,
right?
And it can't be descriptive, so for instance, a suitcase cannot be named Bag on Wheels. You're not going to get a trademark for that because it's too descriptive.
Right.
It would be confusing in the marketplace. But to emphasize what the importance is, I've talked last time, I think it was, we talked about the Washington Redskins trademark ordeal that's going on. And I actually think that case got continued. The hearing was supposed to be in December, but I think it got continued to a later
next
date.
season, right?
Yeah. So if they lose their right to that trademark, I mean, that doesn't mean they cannot use the mark. They can still call themselves the Redskins, But
it just means that people can knock them off and sell cheaper stuff and push that price down.
And they will lose so much profit from that. I mean, and they're becoming such a great football team now. I mean, that would be huge.
Let's go ahead and bring Amanuel back into the conversation. So that's attorney Marshall Berner there, Four Rivers Law Firm. More from him in our lightning round. But Amanuel, when you think about real estate, wholesale, off-market real estate properties, I mean, let's face it, people out there are looking for an investment. They're looking for ways that they can control their financial future. And, the stock market, we hear about these Enrons, and you never really know. I mean, they're padding statistics. You hear about the crooked CEO that, every time, and they take that $1 million parachute ride once they do get caught and get fired. I mean, you have that happening all the time. But I love the real estate asset class, man. It's a great class.
Yeah, absolutely. So what I want to touch on today, as I mentioned in the introduction, about NetWorth Realty and what we do and what we offer to investors. So again, we're a full service, wholesale brokerage and one-stop shop for investors, for the investment of properties. And what we do is, our four cornerstones: find, fund, fix, future. So as you mentioned, Brandon, really you make your money on the buy of these assets and real estate, and we understand that, and that's really important. So with the finding of the properties, we help locate these undervalued real estate assets that we can turn over to and present to investors where they're at a good discounted pricing, where there's enough meet in a bone where they can go ahead and rehab the place and put it back on the retail market, whether they want to sell it or rent it out. So that's really key, and that's pretty much our bread and butter is the property. So majority of our properties are off market through our marketing efforts, and it's with the competitive market out there. Finding properties on the MLS is it's really tough for investors. I meet with people all the time, whether they got into investing this year or whatever, saying, they put in so many offers and it's always goes into highest and best. It's too competitive. So,
we got to take a break here, but
all
we're going
right.
to come back. We're going to come back with Emmanuel. We're going to talk about ways that you can access these off-market, non-MLS properties and really win in that place. So, Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
Enjoy tranquil seclusion in an eco-lover's paradise. Paddling through the mangroves where the only sounds you'll hear are the sounds of nature. Because you deserve to relax on vacation, visit Pasco County, Florida.
If you were injured in a car crash, what would you do first? Who would you call?
You claim to be injured, yet you spoke to and saw an attorney before you saw a doctor. Is that true?
Yes.
Lawyers on TV tell you to call them first. You can, but should you? The law has changed, and you may find yourself paying your own medical bills if you don't see a doctor in the first 14 days. If you've been in a car crash, you need MyCrashMD, the interactive doctor visit, where you can consult virtually with a physician after you've been hurt in a car accident.
We can see you today. We'll take great care of you, regardless if you are at fault or not.
MyCrashMD is an actual medical visit with a doctor. No waiting in an ER, no wasting time driving around town. Download MyCrashMD free from anywhere and then see a doctor on any mobile device. Times are changing. If you don't get medical attention within the first 14 days after your crash, you could lose your insurance benefits. So if you've been in a car crash, help yourself and your accident case with MyCrashMD.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes, host of the Quarterback Show, owner of Platinum MVP Realty and Rhymes Media Group. We got a digital marketing seminar coming up on Friday, January 27th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's a free lunch and learn right here at iHeartRadio. If you're a business owner, if you're an entrepreneur, you've got to find out what the emerging trends are. We're going to teach you the 5 top trends in 2017: website optimization, online advertising, search engine optimization, and how to properly leverage your social media online. Also, big shout out to our new partner, Healthy Gourmet. We got plans starting at $90. Healthy Living and Eating. Felicia is the CEO and founder. Location right here on West Tampa Bay Boulevard. All organic veggies, all natural proteins delivered 3 times a week. Healthy Gourmet, they are awesome, and a brand new partner here. They'll deliver right to your home or office. Healthy Gourmet, delivered fresh. So big shout out to our new partner, Healthy Gourmet. And you can reach out. Again, a reminder, all of our expert contributors are on our website at consumerqb.com. Just go to consumerqb.com, click on the expert contributors tab, and you'll see all of our expert contributors, all their contact information, phones and emails. And if not, if you want to reach out direct, just give us a call at our hotline at 813-917-1894.
You used to call me on my cell phone.
We love it when the hotline blings, 813-917-1894. All right, Emmanuel, let's talk about this, man. So you got folks out there wanting to invest in real estate. They don't know how. They're making expensive mistakes when it comes to buying. NetWorth Realty, you guys specifically focus on wholesale off-market properties.
Yes. So just jumping back into it, the biggest thing is, buying the property at the right price. So, and that's the bulk of our business. And we understand that a lot of investors, some people do it, part-time, but it's hard out there to find these properties. Again, back to the MLS, is real competitive out there. Some people are overpaying for these properties to the point where it doesn't even make sense. By the time they put money into it, there's no more, there's no more meat on the bone. There's no more money to be made. So,
That's
right. And we understand that. And with us, again, we focus on the off-market properties through our marketing efforts, and with that, and it's just more than that. We take a hands-on approach to these investors, from the very first-time beginner investors or to the most seasoned investors. So, we help. We put together packages for investors to, analysis package with what the property will be worth after it's fixed up. And also have financing options for people to be able to get in with our in-house hard money lending that we offer, and also with contractors that we could put in touch with these investors as well to again, and that's the biggest risk that people do have. So, and we make sure that that's their biggest focus is on the rehab, because and that's what we take on. That's where we bring our value is. Finding these properties and doing the analysis part, where the investor could come in and focus on the rehab and working with the contractors. So yeah, that's pretty much the bulk of our business. And also we offer some back-end listings at a discounted pricing.
Let me ask you this: how much detail can you give about your procurement process? Because people understand. Okay, whenever you think about wholesale or off-market properties, unfortunately, the truth is a lot of times it's a death, it's a divorce, it's a bankruptcy, it's some of these types of what they call life events in the mortgage industry, in the real estate industry. So you guys have a patented process, or not a patented process, but you have some type of a process that you are working to get these leads, because the key with real estate, like we talked about, is making money on the buy. So you basically have to find the deal before it's a deal, right?
Right. Yeah, no doubt about that. And it's no secret. It's what everybody does it out there. There's about 15 to 20 different ways of how we find our properties. Direct mail marketing seems to work. That's pretty much our biggest way of acquiring these properties.
Yep.
But like I said, and other relationships that we have out there, as far as our buy sources. But for us, we have a group of 10 guys in our office. This is what we do 24/7. So I guess that's the advantage that we do have, is this is what, this is not our part-time gig or anything like that. This is what we do day in, day out, 10, 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. So that's how we're able to get these 10 to 15 off-market properties a month that we can offer to investors.
Yeah, and if you want to get put on the email list, it's real simple, right? You can put them on an email list. They can just just see whatever properties you're blasting out, right?
Yes and no. So we're more on relationships, right? So if anybody wants to have access to our private inventory of properties, what we like to do first, we like to set up a meeting at our office. Nice. And the reason we do that is because we're never trying to sell one property to an investor and never see them again. We're big on relationships. We want to be able to sell a property to an investor, help them through the process if need be with the financing or with the contractors, and have them make money where they could come back and repeat the process.
That's great. Yeah.
Last year we sold just under 1,500 properties, and it wasn't to 1,500 different investors. We have a lot of repeat buyers because of that. So we do like that, and we want to be able to get to know the people that we're working with. See what their goals are, what they what they want to, why they're doing this, and what they want to accomplish, and how we can help them accomplish their goals and investing in real estate.
Yeah, because when you think about it too, there's typically two main strategies. It's the buy, fix, and flip, and then it's the buy, renovate, and rent.
Correct. So again, either way, we can help with that. Mainly we focus on single family, but we do some multifamily up to 4 units. So again, whatever it is, buy, fix, sell, or rentals, we can definitely assist with that.
Yeah, that's awesome. And so I like the idea too. If you just joined us, I'm the host of the Quarterback Show here. We're talking with Amanuel, representing NetWorth Realty. They're a wholesale real estate company here in Tampa Bay, going to help you find these off-market properties. And what I like as well is that you have the in-house lending as well. You've got this program, 212 Loans, 212 Investor Financing Simplified.
Yes, so I could touch a little bit about that. Pretty much, it's your standard hard money loans. We're pretty competitive to what's out there here locally. But it just another way for investors to be able to leverage their cash. We understand some people, they may not have hundreds of thousands of dollars available to them they just go buy real estate. But the people that do have some cash, it's a nice way to be able to leverage that and to be able to get into these properties where they can build capital and go buy rental down the line and be able to do more deals. Or even for the people that do have a ton of cash, it's still a nice way to be able to leverage that and be able to do multiple deals at a time. So as opposed to doing one deal outright with all of your cash and having that much risk, putting all your eggs in one basket, you can spread that risk out, and leverage that cash, either just do one or be able to do more than one deal at a time. So.
Yeah, that's right. Because if you do put all your money into that one deal and you got a sweet deal that comes around, you're like,
exactly, and that happens all the time.
Yeah. So what kind of LTVs we talking?
So the maximum LTV is 70% of the ARV.
Okay.
And that is based on credit. And if people don't have the required credit to be able to get the maximum LTV, it'll just be a lower percentage, 65%, 60%. It just means you'll have more money to come out of pocket.
I love it. Let's jump into our lightning round. All right, top tips, things to do, things to avoid, nuggets of advice. Attorney Marshall Berner for Rivers Law Firm.
I just wanted to piggyback off what Emmanuel was saying a little bit. With trademarks and intellectual property, treat it as an investment.
Yeah.
Because it is an investment. You can invest into real estate, invest into your company. Take exclusive ownership of your identity, your logo, your name. Because it's your name, your reputation on the line. So that's what it is, and it's a small investment.
Yeah.
It's a small investment for the growth of your company.
Yeah.
As far as obtaining those rights, you could do it on your own, or you can call an attorney. I'd advise to call an attorney. Get the search done. Make sure you're not going to infringe on someone else's rights, because that can become very, very expensive.
Yeah.
And that could lead to damages automatically. So,
that's right.
Yeah.
Emmanuel?
I guess what I would add is, I see a lot of people out there, just want to throw one thing out, a lot of people out there that just wants to get into real estate investing. I suggest, I'm big on action, and I see a lot of people going to these networking events or paying these outrageous prices for these seminars and not doing anything with the information, and you guys know the saying, information without implementation is just entertainment. So
that's right.
You're not talking about President-elect university head.
Yeah, right.
Right. So, and I'm not saying just go out there and get it, just dive in, but, be around like-minded individuals, but just take actions. You don't get anywhere by just sitting around not doing anything.
Yeah, too many people live on someday Isle, right? Someday I'll do this. Someday I'll start investing. Someday I'll take control of my financial future. Someday I'll buy that book. So, hey, great show today. Thanks so much for coming in. Attorney Marshall Berner, Four Rivers Law Firm, Amanuel representing NetWorth Realty. And we want to remind you as well to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness, something as simple as packing up leftover food that you may have, bringing it with you to and from your commute to work, and that way you can give it to that person that's in need. You find them on the side of the road there, with their thumb out a lot of times, or looking for change. So be a force for good in the community, and make sure you tune into the show every Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m., right here on 1250 WIN, syndicated 102.5 The Bone on the weekends, and also on WeBeam TV. So thanks so much. Go out there and commit a random act of kindness. We'll see you next time. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.